Hello and welcome to JOS Family TV. Today on The Counselor, we are looking at marital crisis. Marital crisis can be a challenging and emotional experience for couples. In most cases, there are potential signs that triggers crisis in a home, and if not properly managed, can tear the family apart. Today we have a guest in the house and she'll be sharing with us some causes of marital crisis. She'll also be educating us with valuable tips on how to manage crisis. You're welcome, Mrs. Hazard.
Thank you very much.
We're so glad to have you on our show today.
It's my pleasure.
I am Julian Olonleke, your host. A lot of questions to ask on this show concerning the issue of marital crisis. But to begin with, what is marital crisis in a marriage?
Marital crisis simply means conflicts, or you call it, in layman's language, you call it fights, petty fights. Some people call it love fights. So that's just the crisis, that the definition that can be given.
We hear people say crisis or conflict. Are they all the same thing or they are different levels?
Crisis and conflicts are the same thing. Only that when it becomes crisis, when it rises to the level of crisis, then it has gone beyond their power. When it's conflict, they can resolve it within themselves.
So what's the difference between individual differences and crisis?
Individual differences may come as differences in opinions, in tradition, in upbringing, in their perception of what a marriage should be. Some people still believe in the Indian film love of marriage, while there are some traditional people, they don't believe in all those Indian something. They are just, even when you say I love you, they don't respond, because they were not brought up like that due to their own tradition or upbringing. What you don't see in your home, if you've never heard your mother saying I love you to your father, so when you are told, you feel it looks strange and you feel strange with it. So all these are the differences we have. We have many more, but let's just rest it there.
We are on our regular show, The Counselor, and we are here on the streets in Kaduna, and we are here to, find out from the people what they think are the possible causes of crisis in marriage.
When there is no finance, it's one of the crises, and when there is no understanding between both couples, so there's always a crisis in marriage. Because if there is no understanding, there's no way you can stay together, and you're able to forgive yourself, not to be repeating what has happened. You let that go, because what covers is love. But the basic problem in the marriage is if there is no finance. There's no finance. But if there is understanding, there will be no much problem in marriage.
When couples get married and they have high expectations that are completely unreasonable, and when they get into marriage and it's not being met, that will be a major source of conflict. People have demands, they have needs to be met. So when all these needs are not met, they might be thinking they are okay with it, they are managing. But the kind of stress everybody puts inside these days is very high. It's the tension. It's just God that is keeping everybody sane at this level. Because our needs are not met, our expectations are not met, especially in Nigeria now, due to the economic situation. That also causes, that's a very major stress in marriages these days. Apart from that, there are some cultural inhibitions. When you are struggling to take care of the family, your extended family members will bring all their own problems. And the men, they want to have an enlightened wife. At the same time, it's very submissive in quotes, that you can't do anything, you can't think for yourself, they decide everything. And women these days have opened more eyes, let me put it that way. They know their rights better. They know they don't have to go through all these things. And when people are not communicating and they don't get themselves right, there's no way there will be no crisis. it will be difficult for such homes to stand.
There's this belief that money is one of the major cause of crisis in family. How true is that, man? What do you have to say?
Money is very important. But have we not seen poor people living together and they live for 50 years, 60 years together? It's very important, but that's not the issue. You see, food. And that is why you hear women say, is it food to their husband? When it comes to sex, there must be sexual compatibility. You understand? And there must always be food. A hungry man is an angry man. Man goes to work. He has been going up and down since morning, looking for how to bring money to the house for feeding. And he gets home, the wife has gone for a party, no food at home. It can scatter that family. Most men have fallen victim by going to eat outside. When they eat outside, they are captured. So food and sex, they are the very two important ingredients in marriage. That is my personal opinion. Money hardly causes conflict except when one of the partners is overbearing. Like what her mates are wearing, she wants to wear it. She doesn't understand that any language called I don't have it now, I will bring it tomorrow. She wants it now. As she's asking, she wants it now. But sexual compatibility in the marriage is very important. That is why some people are very unfaithful in their marriage. You've heard people say, 2 minutes man, 1 minute man. Some women will see it as a big issue, and that will push them. There are women that cannot control themselves. I heard a woman once said, he said, my husband dare not travel more than beyond 3 days. If he travels, whatever happens, he will take it. That means she has high libido. You understand? She cannot hold herself. And that is what her husband follows it. Sometimes if he's going to stay about a week or 2, he'll go with her. So that also helps them to be close. And the issue of money is not very serious. You see poor people living together happily because they are compatible, they understand each other. And I think that is just it.
But if you say the issue of money is not very serious, we have, from your previous statement, you said that when one party is either earning more,
Yes.
the other person's ego is affected.
Yes.
So is that not part
It depends on the individual. Because your wife's money is your money, or your husband's money is your money. If one is earning, if there's understanding, at least before the marriage, you have seen that this person is a hustler. There are some women that are hustlers. They hustle a lot, they make a lot of money. The man can key into it as long as she's humble. If she's humble, the man can key into it. The people that fight over money are those people that are always influenced by what they see outside. For example, I know my husband's capability. I know he cannot afford a car now, and I'm asking for a car. There will be issues. If there's that understanding, I'll buy you a car, but not this year, maybe early next year. That is understandable, but some women will not take it. My friend's husband just bought a car, so you must buy for me because you are working in a better place than my friend. There are other factors that she has not put into consideration. She has a mother to take care of, a father, her own mother, her in-laws, his in-laws, children, and other responsibilities. So that is why I am saying that money is not the key issues, because some of us married and there was no bed. We were sleeping on the floor. Money wasn't an issue. We will not have food. We will just trek and stroll and drink water and forget about it. Money is not a very important issue like that. But some people see it like that because they feel such people that think money is the basic thing in marriage. They always have problem when the money is no more there. You will see greedy people. They can easily be lured with money. The Bible tells us that godliness and contentment is great gain.
What are those things that lead to crisis in marriage?
Number one, communication. When there is lack of communication between the husband and the wife, things cannot go right. Sometimes when we talk of lack of communication, apart from sitting down to trash issues, some people don't just have time to listen to their partners. They are not sensitive enough to listen to what the other person is trying to say or is trying to do. They see error. Some are perfectionists. Some are not. When a perfectionist is at home, the bed should be smooth, the floor should be neat, and the other person is not a perfectionist. So the differences will definitely bring conflict if not properly managed.
So, but in this issue of communication, is there any specific person that should initiate the conversation?
Anybody can initiate a conversation. It depends on how, when you are initiating a conversation, you have to check the mood of the person you want to communicate with. You have to look for a better language to break it down to the person's level. And you have to put yourself in perfect control. For example, you don't just tell a man, why did you do this thing? You have to look for a way to present it in a loving way. If possible, you check the person's mood. Is he happy? There are times you cannot communicate with an unhappy person, or somebody that is thinking of how to get money is already tensed. You cannot discuss anything. That is why they always say, between husband and wife, the night is the best time to communicate freely and bring in issues that is affecting the marriage or that is likely to affect the marriage. Sexual incompatibility. Sometimes as Christians, you marry, you don't know anything about the other person's libido. Maybe one person loves to have sex and the other one is not interested much. There will be conflict. And the other person, especially if it's a man and the wife is demanding, you say, I've entered one chance. Does it mean that this lady was a prostitute? She was pretending before I married her? Or, different types of things and thoughts will be running through his head. Money can also cause conflict in the house. The issue of the children, if one is a disciplinarian and the other one doesn't believe in all those things, believe in pampering, some children know that their mothers are very soft towards them. So when their father is trying to correct them, they will look at the face of their mothers. And the mother will come in between and say, please, the beating is too much. Or the way you are talking to the child, and then there will be conflict. Say, okay, I'm not the father. You are now the mother and the father. Okay. That alone can cause conflict because it can lead to the child hating one person and loving one. And then there's the issue of suspicion. Some couples work with male and female, and they have friends, especially those that believe in having a male as their bestie when they are female. I don't believe in that anyway. A female should be a bestie to a female, and male should be a bestie to a male. So when there's any closeness, one of them is likely to suspect that something is going on, and that will lead to jealousy, which can also even destroy everything. Then you also have the issue of money. If the woman is working in a better place where they give her big pay, sometimes it kills the esteem. It brings down the esteem of the man, brings him to low self-esteem, because everything is asking, the woman is providing. And sometimes he will just talk to the woman a little, the woman gives right answer, but he will feel that that answer is not right enough. It is because you are the one bringing the money. Some women also will ask a man what they do not have. I need money for this, I need the man say, oh, I'll bring it, but I don't have it now. He said, you should have it, oh, you should have it now. So all those things, they contribute to a crisis in marriage. Not only that, ill health, infertility. When they have been looking for a child for long, they keep struggling. The man has been spending money. At a stage, he will be frustrated. Sometimes he will hide that frustration. But when the woman becomes overbearing, he will now pour out his heart. That after all, I've wasted a lot of money upon us. Is this marriage? Nothing. And conflicts will begin to come. And disrespect. Men do not like disrespect. Although the man also should not cross boundaries when it comes to the wife. There should be a limit. Some men will just say, go and tell that to your parents. You know, it is disrespectful, so it leads to conflict. Or the woman will just talk to him anyhow, even in the presence of people. Some women will just drop their husband's food, just say your food there, go and eat. That brings disrespect, especially if it's a Yoruba man, sorry to say. They love it when you honor them. So many issues.